I'm okay. And you?
I'm doing good. How's the day so far?
Everything is good. Can you hear me? And
Yes, I can hear you good.
okay, that's cool.
Oh,
And you're from the Metalheads magazine, or
Metal Forever.
where?
I'm from India.
So the magazine is from India.
Magazine is started in Canada, but I do live in India.
Ah, okay, that's cool. So how is things in India right now?
Everything is all good. Things are back.
That's fine. Okay, that's cool. Okay, cool. You want to talk about Maceration?
Yes.
It's a pleasure.
Pleasure to me. So your second full-length album, It Never Ends, is to be out on November 25th. So would you like to tell me a bit about the songwriting and the production behind this new upcoming album?
Yeah, it all started like in the beginning of 21. I got in contact with Michael from Emancipation Records, and he, we know each other for a lot of years, and he said, it's like 30 years since the first Maceration album came out, and why don't you do another one, a new one? We can ask Dan Swanö if he wants to sing. And I was just like, yeah, okay, it could be fun, why not? And I began writing some riffs and trying to get hold of it, and it came out pretty good. And me and Lars, the other guitarist, talked about it, and we just kept on moving, and we got in touch with Swanö. And at first he didn't want to do the vocals, but he wanted to mix and produce the album in his studio. But he was like, it's been too many years since I growled, and I cannot do it anymore, and that's it. So we just decided to move on and work on the songs, and we wanted him to produce the album, and then we got in touch again with him, and he had changed his mind, and he wanted to do it anyway. So it was like a relief that he wants to do it, and it was also like, whoa, it's quite a scoop, because I don't think he growled on any album since Edge of Sanity. So that's quite okay. That's cool. You want to do that with Maceration again, because because we haven't been doing anything for 30 years, so it's like a completely new thing. But so we wrote the songs. I did most of the song, and Lars also did a couple, and I wrote a lot of lyrics as well. And we got hold of Rasmus from Ilderspost and asked him if he wanted to play the drums. And the process was, we worked in our home studios with the songs and put it all together and recorded some demos of the songs. And Rasmus went into the studio and recorded the drums to that. And then we got the drums back and recorded all guitars and bass and leads. And then Swanö got everything to his studio in Germany, and he should then begin arranging, the vocal lines and the lyrics. And so it was quite a funny experience, and a quite good experience to work this way, I think. So when Dan began working on the first song, and he was like, after the first recording, he was like, his voice was totally sore and destroyed, but it sounded incredible. And he was also like, whoa, that's pretty cool. So at first he was like, oh, my voice is destroyed, and if you have another singer who maybe can do some vocals with me, it would be good. But then he began working on the next songs, and then he got hold of it, and he got more and more excited, and he really enjoyed it, because he experienced that he actually still could growl, and it sounded amazing, So it was a good process.
Amazing. Amazing. And it's a follow-up to 1992's Serenade Of Agony. Like you said, it's almost 30 years. So how does it feel to be back with Maceration and making new music?
It's amazing. I just enjoy it, and you know, all the years just passed, and you know, you just stop doing music, and you educate yourself, and you work, and get a family and children, and you don't have the time for this. And now I'm much older, and now I have the time because my kids are grown up, and I have a lot more time to do what I want. So it's just a good experience to be like back doing some music, and now you have a lot of more possibilities to record yourself, and you have much better people in the industry who knows how to do a good production. Because like 30 years ago here in Denmark, there was like no one who knew anything. You know, it was just book the studio, and then there was a producer in the studio and a technician who didn't know how to produce death metal. So it was always like a big experiment, and it never came out the way you wanted. But I think it was such with a lot of records back then, but it has its charm. But today we have like, now it's a good feeling that you can hear that we have exactly the sound we want, the production, we have better songs, we have had better time, and we are more experienced, and yeah, everything is just a lot better, I think.
Wonderful, wonderful. And talking about the album 9, mind-blowing death metal awesomeness in this album. So you guys totally dig it again. Great songs, amazing power, great energy from you guys. Totally love this album. And as a creator of this album, what are your thoughts on this new album?
Thanks a lot because you like it so much. I'm very happy to hear that, because it's you are a bit nervous because no one heard it except you, myself, and so it's good to hear that someone like you really enjoyed it and think it's amazing. And I also think it's a good album because it's straightforward songs, and it's still old school death metal, and you can still hear some references to the old Maceration, I think. So yeah, so I'm very satisfied with the album actually, and but it is special when you hear the songs again and again and again, and work on the songs. Sometimes you can get blind, you know.
Yeah.
And also on the ears, and then you think this is it. And but now when I hear you say it's amazing, and I heard it from others, that's a relief, and I'm happy about that.
Awesome. And last Friday you put up a video for Lost in Depravity. Great video. Would you like to share a bit about the making of this video and about this particular song?
Yeah, it's like the first, it's the opening track on the album, and it has this eerie, terrifying feeling, and it was actually also an idea I had. I wanted to, like on the first album, we had this piano intro, and this one is a bit in the same vein. So it's like a reference to a Serenade with the intro and the melodic riff and the eerie feeling. It's like the song has like an atmosphere. It's a bit like anxiety, you know, it's a bit horrifying. So the video is also a bit in that vein, you know. It's like, it's a bit like old school horror movie or something, you know. It's we made it with no budget, you know. It's we had no money for the video, so I think it became pretty good of what we have to do. But yeah, that's it. We just it complements the song pretty good, I think, with the, you know, the feeling of anxiety, depravity, fear of something coming after you, maybe.
Wonderful, wonderful. And you guys have any special release day plans on November 25th?
Maybe we will do some release, you know, meeting or something. at a record shop or something here in Denmark, but we have nothing planned right now. Right now we have been doing like 3 live shows this year at 3 Danish festivals. We just played Odense Metal Fest this Friday. So now we are just trying to put everything together and see what will happen next, and of course waiting for the response on the album and see what happens.
Wonderful, wonderful. And would you like to share some of the past great moments when you were in the early days of Maceration?
There's a lot of things happening back then. First of all, Maceration was started out like a side project for Invocator, which I also played the guitar in, and Jakob Hansen and me, we liked the more extreme stuff like Repulsion and Napalm Death and Carcass and all that. And in Invocator we played more like death thrash. So I think he started out doing some songs and recorded it on a 4-track, and then he wanted to play drums, and we got hold of the other guys, and then they asked, can you play the bass? Yeah, it was fun because we had something else than Invocator to. So it started out like just a fun project. But again, then you never know when you make history, because in 1990 we played with Maceration and we invited Darkthrone to play in Esbjerg, our hometown. And back then, Jakob tape traded a lot with Fenris Gylve back then, and it was just the scene back then. It was tape trading, and Jakob asked, why don't you come down and play a show and with us? And so they took the train from Norway and played that show, and they were just kids. We were all kids. I think they were maybe like 17 years old or something like that. So. And back then, you never knew that what Darkthrone would change to be. Back then they played death metal, and it was just before Soulside Journey, and then after that they changed their approach completely. So I think that's a great moment for Maceration.
Amazing. And how does Maceration look into the future now?
I hope we can play some more concerts, and for sure, I'm pretty sure we'll do another album as well. We have no new songs ready, but that's the plan at least. So the label has an option on another one, and when I hear the new one, I'm of course interested in doing even more. So right now we are just trying to see what happens. If anyone is interested in having us coming to play live, we are interested, and we will try to plan everything. And I'm just waiting for the response now for the album.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And finally, what would be the message that you want to give to the Maceration fans around the world?
I just hope everyone will check it out. The Maceration fans who remember Maceration from back in the days, even if we only did one album, and the other fans of death metal, I hope you will check out the album, and I think you will like it. It's extreme, and it's Dan Swanö back on vocals and growling for the first time in many years. So it's quite interesting. So check it out.
Wonderful. And I want to thank you so much for giving me today this wonderful opportunity to have you on this interview. Yeah. And a real pleasure to listen to Maceration's new album. Great work again from you guys. Totally love this album, and I hope it reaches even more greater audience around the world and take you guys far and wide. So I wish you and the entire band all success in the coming days. And thanks again for this opportunity, and take care of it, my friend.
I thank you. Thanks a lot for wanting to do it, and I'm very happy to hear you like it. So just keep on spreading the word. So
absolutely,
a lot of new metal fans will hear Maceration.
Thank you, and you have a great
evening.
You too.
Bye bye.
Bye.